You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
Welcome everybody to episode number 8 of the Battered Heat Fans Podcast. I'm your host, David Gannett, alongside me, as always, Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. The Heat, baby, 120 to 119. Let's go. You said it. They were going to win. You said it yesterday when we filmed our Lakers post game, and you were right. You were right, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Let's go.
I mean, I want to feel good about Denver, but because I feel like Denver is just a night of horrors for us. I felt like you just gotta have the Clippers game. Like there's no way around it. Like you just gotta win it. Like I don't know how you're gonna do it, but just figure this shit out. And they did. They went, and it's a clutch game. Went down to the wire. It's when there's West Coast trips and you have to stay up to 1 a.m. watching games. There's nothing worse than staying up to 1 a.m. and then going to bed upset because you're now losing sleep and you lost the game. But complete opposite last night. Staying up really late game. I think it ended at 1 a.m, but I ended up getting the dub, and Kawhi Leonard missing that game winner. Just a fun game overall. They came out blazing. Norman Powell, you said it. He's not going to miss this game because he's playing against the Clippers. He played, and he came out. You could tell right off the bat. He came out very aggressive, ready to kind of put it to his former team. And Bam came out, had a great game. Just an overall, just great game. And then it was we had talked about the starting lineup, and I asked you, do you think Ware gets the start? I mean, Norman Powell came back, but instead of putting Norman Powell where Pelle Larsson was, they completely took out Khalil Ware, put him on the bench. It ended up working out because Khalil Ware ended up having a pretty good game. But this was the starting lineup. Any surprise here? Do you think this is going to be something we see moving forward?
It could be. It could be at least until Tyler Hero gets back. It could also, be a game in, game out. Spo is big on rotating lineups. The Heat usually has 20 something starting lineups a season. So
it's usually due
look,
to all the injuries that we end up getting.
Exactly. But we talked about it. We talked about it yesterday. When we talked about the Lakers, and we said that it's not important who starts; it's important who finishes. And so, Khalil Ware coming off the bench had a big game: 16 points, 5 rebounds, fantastic. And look, maybe he needs to run with the second unit for a little bit to to get his confidence back up. It could just be that, and then you can insert him back into the starting lineup in a month, in a few weeks, and see how it goes. But I think Spo, the longest tenured coach in the NBA, has shown once again that he knows how to put the puzzle pieces together in order to get this team functioning. And look, Pelle Larsson didn't have a huge game, but he plays such great defense, and he hustles. Well, I'm talking about on points. He only had 7 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound. But it's in the non-stats is where he makes his biggest impact, and that's what I thought was huge yesterday.
No, yeah, he had a great game. Davion Mitchell, I think I come on here and say it every episode. He ended up with 9 assists, zero. Usually I say like 1 turnover, 0 turnovers. Davion Mitchell has, I think, played himself into being the full time. Even though I know it's positionless, I get it, it's positionless, but what would it traditionally be called the ball handler, the point guard. I think that's his position in the starting lineup, and I don't think even when Tyler Hero comes back, I think Davion Mitchell stays as a starter because I think he's earned it the way he's been distributing, creating for others, the way he takes it to the rim whenever he has to, and the way he protects the ball. Because again, 0 turnovers.
It's amazing. I'm actually trying to look up his assist to turnover stats right now. But we said it last game. I think he had 6 assists, zero or only 1 turnover. He's a very he's a point guard who likes to take care of the ball. And you see that game in and game out, and he doesn't turn the ball over very often. So look, right now he is probably the best point guard we've had in the last 5 to 6 years. I put him over Kyle Lowry. I put him over Terry Rozier. I put him over all those other point guards that we've had in this era, just because he likes to take care of the ball and he gets a lot of assists. And that's exactly what you need in this type of offense that Eric Spoelstra likes to run.
I just blanked. I was going to tell you something about. Oh, that's right, Davion Mitchell. before the Lakers game, I had put out something on social media, and if you aren't following Battered Heat fans on Twitter, go ahead. I put it out that he was the only player in the NBA. I know early in the season, but the only player in the NBA so far that was averaging over 8 assists per game and less than 2 turnovers per game. Like he's the only player in the NBA that had that stat line, over 8 assists, less than 2 turnovers. So up until that point, before the Lakers game, he was showing out, and he's just continued over the last 2 games. Now, Bam Adebayo, big game from him, and I think the biggest part of his game yesterday was the fact that he wasn't scared of the moment. Right? There was a moment where he hit a big shot to go up. I want to say 2. And in the clutch, right? Because now it's officially the last 5 minutes are called the clutch minutes. He hit a big shot from more or less the free throw line, and then came back and on defense got a stop on James Harden, which led to a turnover. I forgot who got that. I think it was Norman Powell, but led to a turnover. Bam Adebayo showing up on both ends of the floor, which is what you want from your star, because I mean, this is Bam's team. Even though people don't consider him a superstar, he is our star, and he showed up big last night.
He's been showing up big all season, right? He added that 3-point shot to his arsenal.
2 for 4 yesterday.
2 for 4. He didn't take 13 like he did against the Spurs, but
right.
he's been clinical when he takes his 3-point shots this year. Other than that game, he's been very selective in his 3-point shooting, and he's letting it fly when he's open, and they're going in, and that's huge because not only does that give him a 3-pointer and it gives us 3 points, but it also opens up the floor and spaces the floor enough to where our other players who can drive the ball and dish have a lot more space to work within the paint, because you don't have Bam Adebayo in the paint, just sitting there waiting for the ball, waiting for them to throw it into the post or anything like that. No, everybody's spread out wide open, and they're just attacking the paint and looking for the open guy, reversing the ball and finding the open shooter, and that's the person that's taking the shot, and it's been extremely, extremely well this year.
Defensively, the Heat, as always, they always try so many different things out. They'll go man, they'll go zone. A lot of help defense last night. They had a lot of help defenders coming, because when you only have Kawhi Leonard and James Harden that basically just dominate the ball, because they're not free flowing like the Heat are. Those 2 guys are going to get the ball, and one of those 2 guys are going to do something with it. So it's a lot easier to bring a help defender, especially when the shot clock is running down. But I thought they did a great job of that. They went into zone at some point in the second quarter, which I think really helped also. But the Heat, when they are defending well, if this offense keeps clicking, you're going to have a hard time beating this Heat team. Andrew Wiggins also had a big game, 17 points. He had a very clutch 3. I think it was like 2 minutes left. And I told you two episodes ago I was going to stop talking crap about Andrew Wiggins in the clutch, because he keeps shutting me up. And again, he had another clutch 3 in the clutch.
Keep talking crap. That way he continues to do what he does. But look, Danny, another thing that I want to bring up is the Heat shot 54% that last night. That's 2 games in a row that they shoot over 50%. And almost 3 games in a row, because I think
it was a bad night against the Lakers. They had a bad 3-point shooting night.
That's what I'm saying. And last night they were 12 of 25 from the 3-point arc, 48%. I mean, obviously that was the difference between the Lakers game and the Clippers game. But this team is shooting the ball so efficiently. I think we need to point that out. If I and I'll have to go back and double check, and maybe on the next episode we'll throw out the stat. But I'm curious, in these first 7 games, how many games they shot above 50% in overall field goals, and tonight or last night was one of them, and that's making a big difference in this team this year.
Absolutely. And look, I think the biggest thing about this game, right? I think a lot of people would call it a gutsy win, right? A clutch win, because they went basket for basket. Because Kawhi Leonard, towards the last 4 or 5 minutes, he hit a crazy fadeaway shot that looked like the Philadelphia Sixers one when he was with the Raptors.
He hit one of those the other night to win the game.
And then he hit that one, but there was like 4 minutes left. He hit that shot, and I was like, oof. And then James Harden comes back. I think it was after Bam hit a 3, or Andrew Wiggins hit a 3. Somebody hit a 3. James Harden came back, just boom, hit a 3 right back. And then you're like, wow, they have 2 closers on this team. And you start wondering, like, we don't have that, right? That's what we've always felt like. We don't have that. But again, Andrew Wiggins, big 3. Bam Adebayo hit the big midi. And it was just a gutsy win because you went toe to toe with two closers, and then the refs. I don't know if you fell asleep before that last shot, but Norman Powell got mugged on an inbounds play, and they called a jump ball. Uh, I don't even know what to say. I don't understand how that wasn't a foul call. They basically bear hugged him as I forget who it was. It was somebody bear hugged him, and Zubac basically just grabbed his arms, and it was just a hot mess. They called the jump ball. Obviously, Zubac's going to win a jump ball over Norman Powell. Luckily, the Clippers didn't call for timeout, and they just wasted the last 16 seconds instead of playing the free throw shooting game in case you missed a shot. But despite all that, they still managed to sneak away with the win.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that to me was an absolute huge foul. The fact that they call it jump ball just shows that the referees might have had something on the game last night. I don't know. I'm not accusing anybody of that, but I mean, it was just a clear foul on Norman Powell, and the fact that they called jump ball was ridiculous. It could have really cost the Heat the game because they should have had free throws. Instead of turning the ball back over and having that jump ball and getting the ball back to the Clippers. But look, Danny, at the end of the game, these guys played great defense to finish off that last that last run by the Clippers, and we can be happy that this team is back to 500 and they're on their way. Like you continue to say, episode after episode, they're on their way to 10-10 through the first 20 games.
And if they get there, I'll tell you top four finish. The last person I want to touch on real quick. Khalil Ware had a big game. I think it sucks that he has to get benched, and it's like Spoelstra has to figure out different ways to motivate this guy. But he was 2 for 2 from 3, big game. But Jaime, he didn't have a bad game, but it wasn't his normal scoring output that we've seen this season. And it's because Kawhi Leonard was kind of, as soon as Jaime got the ball, Kawhi Leonard was there shutting that driving lane down. And up on a personal note, I had money on this game. I bet that the Lakers would beat the Portland. Got that. I got that the Heat would beat the Clippers. Got that. I got that they would the over on the 220 points combined. Got that. I got Bam over 20 points. I got that. The last thing I needed to hit, I bet $5 to win 500, was Jaime scoring more than 12.5 points. He ended up with 6. Oh man, that
rough.
You Kawhi, but he didn't have a bad game. He wasn't forcing anything. That Kawhi was doing a great job staying in front of him, so he was creating for others and not making any wrong plays. So good game overall, and big win.
Yeah, no, I think, look, Jaime Jaquez is not going to score 25, 30 points every single game. He's understanding that he has a certain role on this team, and he's going to play to what the defense gives him. And so yesterday he was being guarded by one of the better defenders in the league in Kawhi, and he didn't have as many open shots, or he didn't have as many opportunities to drive the ball as he has in past games. But what he did do was he distributed the ball, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, rebounding the ball, and he pushed the ball when he had the opportunity to push the ball. And that, to me, shows the maturity of Jaime's game in this season, because he's not just going out of control. He's just playing to within what the game gives him. And I think that just shows, that he is having a much better third season than what he had in his sophomore slump. And look, I have no issues with Jaime Jaquez. I think he's going to have a fantastic year, and he's going to have games like this. So it's just important that he impacts the game in other ways, not just on the scoring sheet, and that's exactly what he did last night.
And two quick things. First, the Inuit Arena, whatever it's called.
Intuit.
What a cool arena. That wall that they have for the supporter section, it looks really, really cool. The Clippers, they're never going to have the Laker fan base, right? The Lakers have a stronghold on that. But such a cool arena to have. So that's one thing. And the second, what the hell is the Clippers logo? Like, what is that? Is that a cruise ship?
It's a Clipper ship. It's a Clipper ship.
Oh, it is a ship.
It is. It's a Clipper ship. Yeah.
I was like, is that a cruise ship? Okay. So it is a ship. I was looking at it last night. I was like, what the hell is that? Okay. Interesting.
I will tell you this. I love the wall, and I wish that every arena would adopt some form of that wall. It doesn't have to be an actual wall, but give me 2 or 3 sections that are only home fan sections where no away team fan can sit there. If they end up buying tickets in those sections, you move them to another section, figure something out. But I would love to have a 2 or 3, 4 sections blocked off only for the home team where you can sit there and not have to deal with the away team fans, especially the way that it is in Miami, because Miami fans like to sell their tickets. And when I go to the games, usually I'm surrounded by the
Well, this is a big
opposing
tourist
team's
area.
fans. And I hate that. I hate that because I'm there trying to have a good time and cheer on my team. And you've got these other folks being loudmouths, cheering on their team and being annoying. And that's not what I want. I want to sit with my fans. I don't want to sit with the opposing team's fans. So I wish that they would do something like that in the Miami Heat Arena at Kaseya Center. And I wish that they would include section 115 because that's my section. I just don't want to sit with other teams' fans.
There are some teams incorporating that. Obviously, the Clippers, and not to such a large scale as the Clippers. But I can tell you, the Brooklyn Nets have something called the Brooklyn Brigade, and it's 2 sections that's behind the basket. I forgot on what end it is, but they also have something like that, and so it's something that I think is slowly becoming a thing, and I think it should. It's funny, and one of my friends that is part of Vice City, for those who don't know, Vice City is a supporter group for Inter Miami. He's a big Heat fan. And he was trying to call the Heat to see if there was a way to kind of get something like that started, kind of like Vice City with the Heat. But I don't think that ended up going anywhere. But he really wanted to. But it would be cool. It would be cool to have that designated section that just always makes noise and kind of gets the crowd going.
I mean, I would love that, and I'm sure there's a lot of other Heat fans. If they would do a poll of all the season ticket holders, I guarantee you the majority would say that they would want something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. It would be cool. All right, and I'm in the Christmas spirit. After Halloween, I just feel like it's Christmas time.
I already got my tree up.
Oh, see, no, we don't have that. My wife doesn't allow me to do that, even though I wish I could. But I will tell you, once November 1st starts, you start watching Christmas movies like every day because there's so freaking many. Like we watched Jingle All the Way already. You know, the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Of course. Have you the number 2 is terrible. Don't ever watch number 2.
What's that?
Jingle All the Way 2.
Oh no, I never watched it. No, I didn't watch
don't.
it.
It's a waste of time.
There's so many. I only watch Home Alone when we put up the Christmas tree. That's the tradition. If the Christmas tree is going up, Home Alone is in the background. So I have to hold off on that one. But we watched a new one yesterday called Family Switch. Funny movie. Just in case anybody's looking for an interesting Christmas movie to watch on Netflix. Family Switch.
We also do the same thing. And last night we watched The Grinch, the animated version. That's what my son wanted to watch. And I love that one as well.
Yeah. All right. And then finishing off, I forgot that we next 5 games. You got Denver. I think that's a loss, but who knows? But if we lose that, that's 4-4. But going 4-4 into the Hornets, Blazers, and then home and home against the Cavs, 2 games in a row, not looking too bad. Your thoughts on the next 5?
Yeah, Denver's going to be tough. I think Charlotte is a winnable game, and so is Portland, especially with all the noise that they're dealing with now with the Chauncey Billups situation and all that. And then Cleveland is obviously the favorite in the East, right? They're, other than the Knicks, they're probably the team who's the best built to contend in the Eastern Conference, and that's going to be a tough two games. I think it's really weird though that we would play the same team in back-to-back home games. I don't think that happens very often. But hey, I'll be there on Wednesday, so I'm excited to watch this team in action.
Well, and then another interesting tidbit real quick for everybody watching, if you weren't aware, next Wednesday is the first City Edition game for the Miami Heat.
I'm excited. We're going to be wearing the Vice jerseys.
Right, but they haven't announced it officially, right? Everybody kind of knows that that's what's coming, but nobody's officially announced it. So I'm wondering when they're going to officially announce it. But it's already been said, November 12th is going to be the first City Edition game. So I'm assuming probably since there's no game today, I wouldn't be surprised if they slow news day, they put it out either today or tomorrow. But
I hope they bring the court back. I hope they bring it back because that Vice court is so badass. It is so badass. Yeah,
I agree. All right. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, a comment, and a review. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we'll be back on Thursday covering the Nuggets game. So until the next one, have a good one.